everyone. Good afternoon. We hope you're doing well on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to talk about scholarships. And if you can please save this link, bit.ly/GPC sign in, and fill it out throughout this presentation or when we're done. And this is how you can stay connected with us. This is how you can receive our newsletter, and we send different scholarship opportunities and community events, programming that we have coming up, because we will have your email this way. And Miss Christina just put that in the chat. So if you can please save it, click on it, fill it out, and complete it by the end of this presentation, that will be awesome. We are going to get started, and we're so glad to have you all here. So excited that you're taking advantage of these workshops and want to learn more about how to secure the bag 2020, get that money to pay for college. So let's get started. All right, so first, for those of you who are new, we are the Game Playing College program at the Emily K Center. Our program is free, so everything that we do, all of our services are free to the public, to students, to the families. It's open access. You don't need to have a certain GPA. There's no application. You just come as you are, and we can help you whatever step of the college application process that you are, as early as 9th grade up until 12th grade. We are here to support you. And we understand that there are different ways to get to whatever goal you want to pursue after high school, and that's okay. We are here to support you, whether that is a transfer, go to community college, and then 4-year, we're here. We do this through individual advising. So we host individual advising sessions, 30-minute sessions that you can talk about anything. So as you work on your scholarship applications, feel free to make an appointment with us so that we can assist you with those. And then also via workshop. So the workshop that you are here today, this is how we also share our information. And as you can see on the screen, here are some of the services that we offer, and everything is free. So Miss Christina will get us started talking about the different types of scholarships that there are for you to take advantage of.
So there are many different types of scholarships out there. The most common ones that we probably think about when we think of scholarships are private scholarships. So those are scholarships offered by organizations, and those organizations can offer for a variety of reasons, but we're going to talk about also institutional scholarships. Institutional scholarships are offered by the colleges themselves. So you may have to apply to institutional scholarships separately. If you're applying to a college, for example, if you're applying to UNC Chapel Hill, sorry, that was not a good example. Like the Park Scholarship at NC State, or UNC Chapel Hill does have an institutional scholarship of the Moorhead Kane Scholarship that require separate applications. There are other institutional scholarships which you do not have to apply for, and they usually get offered based on financial need. So those are the need-based scholarships. So filling out the FAFSA would make you eligible for those types of scholarships, the institutional ones. There are private scholarships that are national scholarships. So those would be those big scholarships, and we're going to name a few at the end. But then what we really highly recommend are local scholarships. And those are scholarships that are available only to certain areas. So there might be local scholarships for Durham students, or for North Carolina students, or for students in the Triangle area or certain counties. So those local scholarships are great to apply to and find, because not many people, there's less competition, so not many people are applying to them, and they usually are less competitive and offer pretty good amounts of money. They may not offer as much, money as big national scholarships. So big national scholarships might offer like $10,000, and a local scholarship might offer only $500 or $1,000. But we still definitely recommend those because they're less competitive, and that means more chances of you to get them. There are scholarships that are based on academics as well, so based on your GPA and test scores. Not all scholarships are academic or merit scholarships, but those would have certain criteria in order to qualify for them. So, you could take that into consideration and narrow your search for some academic scholarships as well. But they're really scholarships for anything. So for being left-handed, so that could be your background. There are scholarships that are based on academics, so based on what you plan to study. There are scholarships for activities that you might be involved with. So if you're involved in a certain organization, they might have a scholarship for that, or just for having lots of community service or military service. We mentioned these financial needs scholarships, but those are typically based on FAFSA and your financial income. And there are some scholarships for skills. So if you are skilled in a sport or in art, those are scholarships that you can qualify to based on that. And there are just other types of scholarships as well, such as company sponsored, government sponsored, association sponsored, etc. So there's really a scholarship in anything. I forgot to mention the background. So that could be being left-handed, being of a certain ethnicity, a certain religion, or first generation. So there's scholarships for everything, and we're going to give you tips on how to find them and how to apply to them. Something I forgot to mention was if you have any questions at any point of this presentation, feel free to put them in the chat and we will address them at the end. So in terms of when to apply to scholarships, you can do that at any point. So there are scholarships that you could apply to as a middle school student, as a 9th or 10th grader, but most scholarships are for students that are about to be graduates, so seniors, or for students that are already in college. But what you can be doing if you are a senior, or if you're not a senior, is start searching for scholarships in advance. And we recommend to do that during your junior year or earlier. If you're a senior and have not started your scholarship search, that is completely okay. You are not behind, but that means that you just need to be very diligent at this time in order to find those. So what you can be doing in advance is researching scholarships, as that takes some time, finding out what kind of qualifications they need, finding out what qualifications they need, what kind of deadlines they have, so you can start planning for them in advance. So usually or ideally that's before you enter your senior year. So when you enter, you are ready and you know exactly what month, what scholarships you're attacking each month or applying to each month. During the fall of senior year, so that's around this time, there are some scholarships that are open. Typically, those would be your bigger national scholarships that have those earlier deadlines, just because they need more time to look through all the applicants, and they might have an additional process, such as an interview that comes later on, or several rounds of the scholarship itself. For winter or spring of senior year, so that is also around now, you should continue to apply to scholarships and keep filling them out. Some scholarships, they don't have deadlines up until later on, like in March or in May. Some are in June. So there's lots of opportunities out there, and you should definitely be searching, as it's an ongoing process to search and identify the scholarships you qualify for, and then to fill them out and submit. So while you're in college as well, many students don't realize that there are scholarships out there, and you definitely should and continue to apply to scholarships while you're in college. So even if it is a $500 scholarship that you feel like it's not worth my time, it's a little bit amount of money, that could be 2 books for college, or that could be your parking pass on campus for the year. So there's lots of unexpected expenses that come with college, and we recommend applying to as many scholarships as you can so you have as much money and less worries while you're in college. So now I'm going to hand it over to Ms. Jackie to talk about some application tips and strategies.
Okay, so like Miss Christina mentioned, we want you to apply to as many scholarships as possible because you never know which ones you're going to get. And then also, you have to remind yourself that there are other students also applying to this scholarship. So the more you apply, the higher chances there are for you to receive one of these awards. And take this time to apply to scholarships just as serious as you're applying to college, because we know that applying to scholarships is time consuming and you want to devote some time to this process. It's like you're applying to college. You will be using maybe some of the essays that you have written for those college applications. So that's okay for you to reuse, recycle those writing components, and then also your resume. So have a maybe you're using Google Drive to keep track of your college application process. Have a designated folder with all this writing samples and resume, maybe a description of yourself, your brag sheet, handy and ready for you to just when you know that the deadline is coming up, you are not rushing trying to put a scholarship application together because you already have a portfolio with all of this materials. And just look out, continuously look for these scholarship opportunities. We will share some of those websites in the next few slides that you can use to look for them. And then now, something to keep in mind as you are doing your scholarship search, you want to learn about past scholarship recipients, just so that you know, just like you're learning about the schools and the typical student that they're accepting, like based on median GPA, maybe test scores. You want to do this for scholarships as well. See, a lot of times these websites, especially for like the national ones, they have like student bios, student profiles of their past winners. Just familiarize yourself with how they are selling themselves to these scholarships. And then it's important that you know yourself, you know your strengths, you know your areas of improvement, so that you can write about this on your scholarship essays and show this on your scholarship applications. Another thing that we recommend you doing is to be specific as you're searching for the scholarships. Don't just go on Google and type scholarships. Like, make it more, as Ms. Christina mentioned at the beginning, there are different types of scholarships that you can apply for. So if you play soccer, maybe look for scholarships for soccer players, or more specific, you can look for scholarships here in the Triangle area. Sometimes there are scholarships specific to your school. So like Hillside High School scholarships, Riverside High School scholarship from previous students that they award to those students specifically. Be specific as possible as you're searching for these opportunities. And now Miss Christina will share a little bit about some of the national scholarships.
Just so I can get a glimpse or kind of a of the room, like know what grade you are in, if you don't mind putting that in the chat, what grade you are in, just so I know what kind of students we're talking to throughout this presentation. 12th, okay, great. So a lot of 12th graders and some underclassmen. So these national scholarships that there's a few that have already passed the deadline. So if you're in 12th grade, a couple of these would have already passed, but if you're in 11th grade, they're definitely great for you to note. So the Questbridge Scholarship is a great scholarship for very strong academic students. The deadline has already passed in September. So if you're a 12th grader, I apologize. The deadline has passed, but you could let other friends know if they are underclassmen. But you want to be in the top 5 or 10%, and it is income based. So you would have to qualify for this financially, but it matches you with top colleges and pretty much is a full ride to top colleges, which is great about this scholarship. If you are an undocumented student or have DACA or TPS, this is a great also full ride scholarship with certain institutions, certain colleges partners, and the deadline is also in September. So as we can see, these competitive scholarships do have those earlier deadlines just because they need more time to process all the applications. This is a Dream Award scholarship for those that have completed their first year of college. So this is an example of a scholarship that you would qualify for once you are already in college, and you must have demonstrated financial need for this one. Deadline was in October. For the Jack Kent Cook Foundation, this was another one that is for pretty competitive students of a GPA 3.5 or higher. The deadline was in October as well. And this one has the deadline is coming up. This is for Hispanic students, for Hispanic or Latinx students. So you must be accepted into a full-time college or be already in college. And you must be of Hispanic ancestry. So this one is open to US citizens, residents, or DACA or undocumented students. So this one is coming up November 3rd. And here are some scholarship websites. So there's no possible way that we can share all scholarships with you, unfortunately, but these are some great websites. This is Durham's scholarship list, so master scholarship list that has a ton of scholarships. You can also go to search engines specifically for scholarships, and examples of that would be scholarships.com, where you create a profile, enter your GPA, and if you have test scores, you enter those in, enter a little bit of more demographic information, and then they help you search for scholarships. These search engines, while they are great, you have to keep in mind that a lot of students are also finding these. So you want to narrow it down as much as possible based on location. So whether it be East Coast, whether it be North Carolina students or Durham students or Triangle students, help them find them there. So this is these websites typically have lots and lots of scholarships, are a comprehensive list. And I'll leave this up for a second for you to jot this down. If you fill out our sign-in sheet, or I can also send this to all registered participants at the end, this scholarships list. And if you fill out our sign-in sheet, these are also in our website. And so I'm just going to click on this to kind of show it for you. But this is Durham Tech's, or not Durham Tech's, Durham DPS Master Scholarship List, and it is by deadline. So we can see some August ones have passed, but there are some that are coming up in November, or not November, in December. So there are definitely still some that are available. You have to scroll because it is by deadline. But here are some December ones. So, lots of different amounts. You can see what the qualifications are and see the link directly. So this is a great way this is a great place to go ahead and get started. There's no possible way that this encompasses all scholarships out there either. So a great place to start is also on your own school's website, or go to different schools' websites that are local. So if you go to Riverside and you want to go to Durham School of the Arts website and see their scholarship list, that is totally okay. And that is something I definitely recommend, because scholarships are typically not school specific. They're typically like region specific, or maybe national. So for any student. Now back to Miss Jackie.
All right, everyone. So this is just a template of what you can use to keep track of your scholarships as you're applying. And you could use this on a Google Doc. You could do a spreadsheet of whichever format you prefer, just so that you know what's coming up. So it's important for you to know the deadline, what scholarship name you're applying for, what are the requirements. So is there like a GPA requirement, a SAT requirement, just so that you have an idea and have like one place with all this information. Then you can also include, have you started this application? Have you submitted? So you're waiting to hear back from them. And then we added like notification date, like when should you hear back from them, so that you can keep an eye out for response on when to expect. Um, and then also something else to note, is this scholarship renewable, and is there like a requirement, like do you need to, keep a 2.5 GPA or whichever GPA you need in order to continue to renew the scholarship? And do you have to reapply every year? Because every scholarship is different. So just know what they are looking for and what they expect of you after you receive this money. And then now, so this is how you can stay connected with us. So as we mentioned, the link that we shared in the chat, that's how you can sign in / subscribe to our newsletter that we send every 2 weeks. And if you need help applying to scholarships, maybe, look, having someone look at your application, go ahead and schedule an appointment using that Calendly link. And if you have any general questions, you are more than welcome to email us at gameplancollege@emilyk.org. We are on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So follow us to stay up to date with our programming. And then if there is someone that you know that missed this workshop, we record all of our sessions and they go to our YouTube channel. So you can just either rewatch for yourself or share with your friends so that they can also secure the VEC 2020, 2021. And, pay for school, because we know the college can be expensive, but that's why there's so many different scholarships for you to take advantage of, and not be, not, don't let money be a burden or a reason why you don't go to college, because there's money out there for you to apply and get and pay for your school. And at this time, if you all have questions, you can unmute yourself or put them in the chat. We are happy to answer them if there are any questions.
I got a request to put this screen back up, so here it is for you to see those links. So there are some great websites that are even ethnicity specific. So for example, hsf.net, the Hispanic Scholarship Fund .net. There is United Negro College Fund, uncf.net, and that's for Black African American students. College Greenlight is a great resource for a lot of different college things. And so you could go start there on your scholarship search. CFNC, this is a good example of more local scholarships. This is only typically for North Carolina students. So this will have scholarships that serve North Carolina students. So that'll be less competitive than those that have students applying to from the whole United States. There's a question on how do we use our FAFSA. So if you filled out your FAFSA already, you should have indicated which colleges you want it to go to. So you get up to 10 on your FAFSA. So say you apply to 11 colleges, or say that you submitted the FAFSA with 3 colleges, but now have applied to 2 more. You can go back in and make a correction on your FAFSA and just edit 2 colleges. Or edit which colleges you have. If you sent it to some colleges that you are not applying to, that is not a problem. How FAFSA works is when you put the college on the FAFSA, you're giving that college permission to use your FAFSA or to see it, actually. But colleges will not use it or pull it until you get accepted and until that college is trying to give you a financial aid package. And we have lots of videos on our YouTube channel that kind of explain how FAFSA works and explain how colleges give you financial aid packages. So we definitely recommend you checking them out. And we also have a webinar coming up on December 2nd that talks about financial aid appeals. So we're going to look at financial aid packages, see how to read those. And since FAFSA uses 2019 information, and we know that 2020 has drastically changed and impacted people, we're also going to cover how to appeal your financial aid, which means my financial situation has changed. Please reevaluate my financial aid that you're giving me. So we're going to show you how to do that with colleges. Miss Jackie just put a great link for a scholarship that is for triangle students. We highly recommend you filling that out because we personally know someone who is on that board of that scholarship, and they told us that not too many students applied, and they have several scholarships that they offered. So that means that since not too many applied, it was pretty easy for those students that did apply to get it. And I think actually, Ms. Jackie, you sent it directly to me. I don't know if you can send it to the whole group, the triangle one. Let's see, I'm looking through these questions, so hold on a second. There is no limit to how many scholarships you apply for, and we actually recommend you apply to a lot. You could apply to 20 scholarships and maybe you only hear back from one. And so, you know, we're not saying that's going to be the case, but some are truly competitive. Just apply, reuse your essays, you know, don't recreate the wheel each time, and apply to as many as you can. You do have to be admitted to receive a financial aid package. There was a question on if you have to be admitted to receive a financial aid package. Yes. So when you file your FAFSA, you put your colleges on there. Once you get accepted, that's when the colleges then pull your FAFSA and create a financial aid package for you and give it out to you. And so we see that William put the Couch Oil Care Scholarship, so 6 $1,000 scholarships to the Triangle area counties. And the deadline is typically in June of senior year. So that's great. Thank you, William, for sharing that resource. So there's a question that came about if there are any scholarships for people in the Army or National Guard. Yes, there are. We recommend you check out their specific websites and check out those scholarships. Also, you can Google or search scholarships for enlisted or for service members, or scholarships for people in the Army. Or definitely reach out to whoever your contact is within that branch, because there are scholarships for that. If you are thinking on the contrary, so if you are already, or if you're a high school student and deciding on college or the military, you can apply to scholarships in advance under these branches of like the Army scholarship, for example. Go to college, be a reserve in the ROTC program, and then when you graduate, you are an officer instead of an enlisted member. So you could be doing an ROTC program while in college, and usually those programs come with scholarships to help you pay for college. Then when you graduate college, you are an officer, so a higher rank when you graduate, which is a great option for students. I have a friend that did that. He's now in the Army and he's loved it. Is there any other questions? These are great questions. So this is our whole presentation. It was pretty short and sweet for you all. If you need some more one-on-one assistance, we highly recommend you schedule an appointment with us. and we can sit with you, chat with you. We can help you do a scholarship search. We can, if you've already found some scholarships and have some essays written, we can help you edit those. So really, our services are in whatever you need. So Miss Jackie just put in the chat how you can schedule an appointment with us. So definitely take advantage of that. And thank you all for being here. We truly enjoyed it, and we hope to be seeing you on our one-on-one appointments soon. And we definitely recommend following us on Instagram and Twitter and signing in so that you can get our newsletter, as we put scholarship information on both of those, and any other opportunities as well that are college related. And those are typically more Durham specific for the resources that are college related.